Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping back down into the world of XRP, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, then do hit that like button. We really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe by tapping the bell and selecting all the notifications. You will not miss another video update. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, you're missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Above and beyond that, we is the first place that we go to notify you of everything that is going on in the crypto space. So check it out, linked in the description below. Okay guys, let's jump down into this. Following on from the previous video where I was expecting a bit of a move to the upside, we have seen an 8.69% bump upwards since that video. However, I do think things are changing here and not so much for the better. So although the initial analysis here is to kind of see this move upwards towards 50 cent, 50 to 50.4, that was on the previous video. Let me just show you what that looks like in a kind of three-wave count like this, this, and this. I think we're actually going to have to see a little bit of a move down before we actually get this run upwards, because things have changed over the last 48 hours or so, at least from a momentum point of view. You can see that we're testing this upper area right here. If I actually go ahead and just adjust this channel just a fraction here, you can kind of see that we're pushing the boundaries a little bit. You can see how we had 2 touch points at the bottom here. We've got 2 touch points at the top here as well. Okay, now because we're riding the higher side of this and we are in an overbought area on the daily and 8-hourly charts and progressing up there quite a bit on the other time frames, I am a little concerned that we're going to have to test the lower ranges again. So we're at the moment, at the point of recording this video, we're just below 40 cent. I think we can come down more towards 35, 34 cent, maybe before we even start moving upwards. Now, taking a look at that and thinking about where we are right now, we are setting ourselves up with this bullish movement. I still think we have this, but I think we have to move down before we move up. Okay, it's just one of those things that we're going to have to see and play out, I think. I'm not expecting us to go down lower than 30 cent without first pushing up higher than our existing swing high here. That comes in at 43.3. I think we've got to tap 43.3 at least, or go higher, okay? And it's got to kind of be a double top here, or it's got to push up into that range. But I do think we have to kind of move down into the lower ranges before we can think about that move upwards, just to kind of reset the momentum. I think a lot of people are exhausting the market at the moment. So I'm just thinking there's going to be a small pull backwards before we rally upwards. So let's go ahead and on this daily chart here, by the way, guys, if we check this out, we can kind of get a good idea as kind of what's going on with our internal wave counts. We have a pretty clear move here. We have a bounce coming upwards, also reasonably clear. We have this move that's potentially not so clear, and we kind of find on ourselves with this upper area of resistance. Now, we might just get a fantastic break to the upside and, you know, just remain in the overbought area on these time frames. You can see that the hourly is just ticked up into the overbought range as well. But I just think that's a low probability play. I think the highest probability is that we have to come down and retest those lows. Now, from an Elliott wave theory point of view, we can kind of see this kind of within that structure right in here. We can also see that we kind of correct up in this little structure. We move down in this little structure, and we can kind of argue this in a couple of different ways. You can kind of see that there's a fair few little sub movements going on here. It's kind of like we're ranging, but we're kind of slipping down ever so slightly. And I think we're about to kind of see this move here kind of playing out. We can see that we have this little minor move. Let me just clear out some of these, right? You can see that it's really choppy and corrective. If I throw a horizontal ray right here, you can see that we're below it. Okay, that allows us to look at this as a B, C structure, and it's going to test this low range, probably around the 34, but I'm going to be a little bit cautious and say 35. Okay, so we'll look for that pull downwards. I would expect it to kind of come down a little bit lower where possible, mind. Okay, so we know that we've rallied up a bit, and I'm going to draw on another line down here as well, right? So the low is 34.73 at the moment, and the high is at 40.18 at the moment. We can kind of consider ourselves ranging in here. My expectations are to come down to the lower side over the next couple of days, and then start to think about that move upwards where we get that next big run towards kind of 50 cent, although minimum expectations would be 43.3. Okay, so on this kind of daily chart, that's kind of the expectations. You can kind of see this is trying to tease a breakout from our trend line. This trend line is one that's been kind of moving in the downward direction pretty much from November 2021, right? We can see 1, 2, 3, 4 taps on here, and now we're consolidating on the line. We're trying to turn it, we're riding it a little ways here. We're trying to turn it into a support line so that we can then get that break upwards. I still think though that this is bearish on a weekly time frame, monthly time frame, because what we do see here is this move. We have a bit of a B wave move coming up into that 50-cent range, just to then come down and set those new fresh lows that I do think are coming. So ultimately, I think XRP is going to be in for some volatility, and that's fantastic to trade on. So if you are looking to trade and you're looking for a new platform to test out, why not check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪, linked in the description down below. 𝗕𝗘𝗪 is offering some fantastic deals at the moment, such as depositing $50 USDT to get an extra cash back of $10 USDT. Okay, they also do bonuses and rewards up to $8,000 depending on how much you deposit onto the platform, and they also do some lucky draws as well at the moment. There's lots of reasons to get involved with 𝗕𝗘𝗪. If you haven't already checked it out, linked in the description below. And if you do sign up with the link in the description below, you'll also be able to participate in our weekly trading competitions through 𝗕𝗘𝗪 in our Discord server. Now, we are offering $100 per week, every single week, to the person who has the best ROI percentage on their portfolio during that week period. Okay, we can see that this competition is actually coming to a close right now at the point of recording. We've got about 15 hours left on this one, and then it kind of comes to completion. And then, of course, we'll be taking a look at a new competition and a new winner, right? At the moment, we can see that it's a clear winner at the moment, but, you know, ultimately, it's all up for grabs. This is every single week, guys, so if you haven't already, sign up to 𝗕𝗘𝗪, jump down in the Discord server, sign up into the competition, and participate. See how good you are against other fellow traders. Let's jump back down into our charts, though, right? We're going to spend some time now just reviewing smart money concepts. Elliott wave theory gives us the idea that we're probably going to be looking to come down a little ways before we rally on up. Now, what does smart money concepts tell us? Well, smart money concepts gives us a bit of an idea that we are bullish and we are looking for a move to the upside. At least that structure hasn't been broken. We can see that we have a change of characteristic. This is pretty much from the June 2022 lows. As we kind of progressed up here, we had this change. This basically flipped us from bearish to bullish. We then also got recently this confirmation that we still remain in that structure, right? We broke our structure to the upside. So things were looking to go down. We then rally back up again, and we got a BOS. Now, essentially, I don't like the terminology of a break of structure like this under the kind of assumption that we've changed the characteristic from bearish to bullish, and then we have something that's called break of structure, because that just sounds like a little bit too bearish. I would actually much prefer to see this kind of labeled as a CTS, a continuation of the trend structure, which I do think is likely to be moving up the upwards. Okay, so we can see that we're bullish here, confirmed bullish here. Now, obviously, when you see these, you do have these natural kind of pullbacks. Once you get this change of character, we rallied up, we changed the characteristic from bearish to bullish, we pulled back down, and that was a nice healthy correction. Right here, we can see that we've got this CTS, this continuation signal, and we get this nice healthy correction to the downside. Again, it is kind of just stuck inside this channel at the moment, but I do think we're likely to get that break to the upside. Okay, so again, Elliott wave theory and smart money concepts are telling us that we are in a slightly bullish market here for XRP. We also have a weak high in this premium range. Okay, so this basically tells us that it's likely that we are going to pierce this level. And we can also see down here we got a strong low, unlikely to pierce this level. And the reason for that is we have this huge institutional wick down here. This basically tells us as price came down, there was so much buying pressure, price just reversed straight away. That gives us this really strong low. You can see that we're consolidating on equilibrium, which is basically a 50% fib level between the premium and discounted ranges. And we can see at the moment we have our 200 EMA being our resistance. You can see that right in here, whereas the white line is our 50 EMA. So at the moment we are trying to battle our way through there. I think we're going to continue to keep this as our resistance line as we push down one more time right back into the equilibrium area. There's lots of buying pressure in this range, and then I expect us to break the 200 EMA and push on up. Now, it's no coincidence that you can see this area just up here. Let me grab my pencil, this little red block right here. This is an internal sell order block. And we can see that this would also fall right inside that Elliott wave theory idea that we have a C wave move. So that there will be our resistance double top scenario with this move here, maybe a little bit short of that, which then brings us into play of our bearish structure looking like that from an Elliott wave theory point of view. So ultimately, I think everything's aligned quite nicely here, but I would expect just a little bit of a correction first before we get that move to the upside. But I do think we are likely to see that daily move upwards towards that kind of 43.3 up to 50, and maybe push a fraction higher than that as well. Once complete, my expectations are that we'll start dropping back down, and it'll be a pretty significant drop to the downside afterwards. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Really interested to get everyone's thoughts and opinions on XRP. If you found this useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Don't forget to check out our Discord server, linked in the description down below, and of course, BitGet. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.